People need to see your thing so many times because they forget and they will not get sick of it. They will need to hear your story maybe 7 times before they want to actually be like, you know what, I actually want to buy your stuff. Repeating content leads to a good reputation. If you have a good reputation for long enough, you have good trust. If you have good trust for long enough, people want to work with you, get leverage.
What you've opened my eyes to is the people that scale 50k followers, 100k followers, they get there through people knowing who they are. The only way to do that is by them resonating with certain parts about yourself. Literally just your story, what you do, who you are. That's so insightful, bro. To spam story videos using experiences from your life.
Daniel, my guy, good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, bro. 20 years old, 50k a month. You're already doing pretty well for yourself, but you've been telling me that you have some issues in your content production right now. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Main issue with me right now with content is I feel like I have clarity with who I'm trying to target. I just don't feel like I know how to target them right now through the content. And then, bro, I'm wasting too much time on ideation and scripting, and like people have told me to outsource creative directors to obviously cover that, but they don't know my brand like I know mine, right? So I want to be able to do that, but yeah, right now, bro, it's just taking way too much time, and I just feel like I need more clarity with how to do that specifically.
There's a lot of things at play here in terms of what we need to tackle. So what is your highest priority issue right now? Let's remove the creative director analogy for now. Let's put that aside. What are you struggling with? Is it ideation?
I'd say the main thing, right, is the content converts. The content definitely converts. I feel like we just need to now reach more eyes. And I don't think I have a direct strategy behind it to reach more eyes. But right now, with the amount of eyes it is reaching, it is converting.
So you just want more eyes?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so maybe some more top of funnel stuff.
Yeah.
What video that you've posted do you think represents where you want to take this the most?
Brand. I would say
This one, yeah? This is my story one, yeah?
Universities in the UK and completely crushed my parents' dream of me becoming an accountant because I know I can make.
Because to let them know as well, right? Obviously, I do sales management, but when it comes to the B2C, I want to be helping people that were in my position at uni, but just wanted to find a way to make money. And I feel like obviously this one creates the most resonation.
Yeah.
I'm 19 years old and I make $30,000 per month, all from my phone, running my own sales agency whilst traveling around the world. But it wasn't always like this. I grew up in Slough, just a normal kid who didn't know what they wanted to do after.
But you see, you're even laughing at watching that because this is like actually you. This is like who you actually are, right?
A levels, but still.
Slough's part of your identity, you know?
Bro, Slough's low frequency Slough.
Decent-ish grades, had a great opportunity, but I was still lost. The thing is, I always knew I was going to become successful. I just did not know how yet. But as you guys already know, the uni lifestyle hit, the parties, the distractions, the noise, and I slowly.
So you're telling me that you like this a lot. This is probably one of your most personable videos on your channel, on your page, right?
Yeah.
So how many personable videos have you made that are like this in detail?
The issue is, right, is like, I can't just carry on repeating my story to my followers.
Oh, but you can. Of course you can.
But they're going to get annoyed by it.
No, that's not how it works. People need to be told so many times. I was literally in the car on my way here, listening to Khamozi, right? And I thought the exact same thing you just did like an hour ago. And he basically just said, bro, like, people need to see your thing so many times because they forget and they will not get sick of it. They will need to hear your story maybe 7 times before they want to actually be like, you know what, okay, this kid from Slough, he's got some shit, man. Like, I actually want to buy his stuff, right? So do not be afraid repeating yourself or repeating stories or repeating the tenets around your brand, because they're going to forget anyway. Like, I'm going to watch this.
It's just about having it in almost like a different format.
Yeah, you can tweak it, but the principles that you preach will probably not change. And that's fine. You can go on about those principles in different ways. When it comes to connection content, okay, this is content that, as the name implies, you really want to feel, you want your audience to feel like they know you. This is the point in your content where you create a parasocial relationship. They feel like, yeah, like I know everything about Daniel just from like a couple of videos. This is where we need to get very specific about you what your values are, etc. And over time, we're thinking on like a 5 to 10 year horizon. People are gonna know exactly who you are and everything about you, or a very large chunk, and that makes them trust you. So this is from my 1-hour guide on personal branding content, but basically it comes from here, right? It comes from this flow, okay? So ideation isn't finding video ideas, it's designing how the market perceives you. So when you ideate, you create content, okay? And when you repeatedly show content, that creates reputation, right? As you keep doing that, that creates trust, right? People now trust you. When people trust you, people want to work with you, your network expands, that creates leverage. And what do all these things make? Money, right? Everything will lead to money eventually, but first, it begins with content. And so over time, reputation will build and your trust will build. And as you can see, it goes to this anyway over time, right? Because each flow here is the repetition of the one above. So repeating content leads to a good reputation. If you have a good reputation for long enough, you have good trust. If you have good trust for long enough, people want to work with you, you get leverage. You can post like twice a week, but if they're absolute fucking bangers, bro, like that's really good. Even 3 times a week. Like for myself, I'm just gonna aim for 3 good reels a week. You want to build content, you told me that we want people to know who you are. And as you said to me off camera, you kind of want to be like that guy where people can turn to you. And if you want to help them get into online money in the UK, they feel like they can trust you and do that with you, right? And you just told me as well that what represented you the most was your My Story video. So let's do more of that. Let's get into that. So you're making 50K a month.
So where does testimonials come into it when it comes to trust building?
That's an authoritative content. So
okay.
That's still here, don't worry. So this looks very daunting. Like what is this? All this is I've basically prompted to create a mind map that pulls from all of the most emotionally charged moments from your life. Now, you will already have some moments probably already in your mind that you can tell. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. I mean, do you have any top of your head that you haven't talked about?
I went to Marbella for 6 weeks this year. I think it was August, September.
Yeah.
Stuck in the Airbnb, 4 bedrooms, all on my own, stressed.
Yeah.
Stressed. Because I was so fixated on money back then. Like money. All my self-worth was attached to money. And bro, I wasn't eating. I was even getting thoughts of, is this the right path? Should I go back to uni? Like, bro, questions like that, right? And just large amounts of self-doubt, which made me invest into a mentor to understand mindset.
And you have an offer where you're teaching people that they have to, eventually, you want them to buy your product, right? And you're talking about how you bought a product.
Yeah.
And how you take the leap. So why on earth have you not talked about that?
And that's connection content, isn't
That's
it?
connection, bro. So now the next part, which I go into even more detail, is your speech. Like I have a whole module on speech because how you tell it is so important.
I've been seeing, right, so there's a couple ways. You can talk really slowly, loads of pauses and just talking slowly. You can talk super passionately and then you can do more of
I would say the first thing to dial in before you think about pacing and tonality, the first thing is how direct it is. The most annoying thing to listen to is filler. So that's the thing, right? Cutting out filler is the first thing. Once you've cut out filler, then you need to ensure that every sentence you say is going to contribute to the story, okay? So with what you've just told me, can you now tell it again like it's on camera, the way you would say it on camera? And the way I want you to structure this now is first, think about the experience. What is the lesson and what is the link? And you lead.
I got it, bro.
Go on.
I was making 25K a month, but the thoughts of going to uni and getting a job were still racing my mind. You're probably wondering why. I was attaching all my self-worth to money, which meant that there were long periods, maybe in Marbella, there was a long period of time when I was making no money, like 2 weeks.
Why'd you say maybe in Marbella?
No, I mean in Marbella.
Okay.
In Marbella, 2 weeks, making no money. And obviously because I was attaching my self-worth, stress, not happy, and it was causing this self-doubt and all of these thoughts to race in my mind. And I knew I did not want to continue life like this. I know I didn't want to be functioning and operating a business where I was just consistently stressed, this. So I invested, took the leap, invested 18K into a mindset mentor. And I made 25K in September. So what did I do for October? I bought a fat ass villa with my friends for 6 weeks in the Marbella Mountains to make what I expected to be another 25K month. My friends left 2 weeks in. I'd only made around 5K by then. Being alone in that fat house, not knowing if I was gonna make money the next day and attaching all my self-worth to money. I started to feel anxious because I'd scaled so fast and I didn't know if I'd miss certain steps, which would mean everything would crumble. But also because I was chasing money, I was attaching my self-worth to it, which meant not making so much money for so long and not being on track to hit another 25K meant I was sad in that house. I felt hopeless. I was even thinking, should I start uni again? Is this really the right path? Were my parents correct? But what did I do? To give myself this relief, I spent £16,000 in one day. I still remember when I did it. I was in Real Club Paddle, eating an acai bowl. I recorded it, I said fuck it, and I felt great relief after it because I knew that now I had direction. Now I knew where exactly I needed to go. And now the steps that I thought I missed were filled in. And now I've hit 50K in December this year. And it all just came down to me investing in myself.
That was good.
Sick.
That was much better. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I would even say the hook, if you want to make it specific and more targeted, don't start with just 25K a month. Just say, I think my peak in business 25K as a 20-year-old X something, XYZ, you know, make it hella specific. Make it hella specific from the UK or from London or
Because people
something.
have told me that I shouldn't do that because it gets too niche.
It won't niche you down.
Like I was told not to mention Slough in my videos because apparently it gets me too niche, but I feel like Slough's good.
I think it's part of your
I feel like everyone knows Slough.
Bro, like it's a bit of a meme in the UK.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna hurt you.
That's what I'm
The only
saying.
way to know is split test it.
Every video I mention Slough in does well though.
I don't think it will hurt you.
That's so insightful, bro. To spam story videos using experiences from your life.
Yeah,
Guys, listen to that source, bro. This is gonna make my life so much easier now with ideation.
So this is the mind map here that's gonna have all the potential stories that you could go through. So let's just have a look through here. So not every single thing here will have a story, but there may be a few obvious ones. So just like have a little look through which ones kind of speak to you. I think there's a story here, right? You can do that, right? And say, and this is what the corporate life is like. Everyone snakes each other. It's a dog eats dog world. But if you enter the online money game, everyone helps each other. As a 20-year-old dropout making 50K a month, let me tell you the worst moment in university. I was studying maths and we had a group project, and me discovering online money, not being too interested, I didn't do any of the work. Now fine. That was my fault. But what was fucking crazy is every single person in my group snaked me to the teacher and told them that I didn't do anything. Now, some say that's fair, some say it's not fair, but I was punished for this. And it just goes to show the uni life, the corporate life, when it comes to academia, when it comes to jobs, it's a dog eats dog world. They're gonna tear you down to get to the top. And you know what is the absolute opposite of that? The online money world. I've only met people who have tried to help me, who have welcomed me with open arms to get into the space, to learn more, to deliver great fulfillment and to be the best I can be. When you're in an environment that supports that, of course you're gonna do well. So fuck corporate and buy my course.
That's so good, bro, because it's like, you become so normal to them. Like, you're literally talking about group projects.
You can relate. What's the lesson I can tie it to?
I'll think of another uni thing, bro.
Yeah, go on.
I was with my mates and they were like, "Oh, Daniel, what's this new content you're posting? Like, you look like a course seller. Just delete it."
Yeah. Okay, give me more detail.
Came back, we were watching a movie. They're close mates of mine, accommodation mates, but they used to just think it was unserious. Like they used to just think like, "What are you doing?"
Right. So let's make it specific, right? My two friends who were in my accommodation, bear in mind, they just want to be accountants, right? Not exactly the highest aspirations. Because when you add details, nobody can copy you. So as a 50K a month business owner, what's your process to ideate good content right now?
Right now, the main thing I do is ChatGPT, bro. I ask ChatGPT for ideas and I kind of explain my situation, but yeah.
Okay, so you ask GPT for ideas, right? GPT actually can be used extremely well if you know what to do with it. So what I do is I always go on a walk, and if I'm doing top of funnel ideas, I just think about what are the most emotionally charged moments from my life. And then I have a massive log in GPT with all those ideas. Then if I want to properly script it, I might take it into Poppy, I might take it into a different AI and plan it out. But that's where you get the foundations. When you go on a walk and you ideate, go through your photo gallery, because that has all of your memories. So you're gonna jog your memory just going through your gallery about this time, that time.
When ideating videos, do I always need to add detail about me? Or can
No, not always.
Or can we have like videos that are a bit more ambiguous?
You can have more ambiguous ones, but it's not that they can't work. They can work, but I just know for a fact detail's always gonna help. If I do a story, I know when I add detail.
Impressed by saying at the end, that's how my life changed, which would cause profile visits.
Yeah, but add a bit more than just that. Add exactly how your life changed.
Should I add exactly when I started seeking the kingdom of God first?
Yes, I think that would be good. Talk about your transformation. Use the value you're teaching. The thing is, content is extremely vast because content is a reflection of the real world. Now, if I ask you how big the real world is, I mean, it's huge. I think just adding more specificity here, because I think it's better to exhaust yourself personally before you do that stuff. And this is the thing, people try to copy what the biggest guys are doing, but you're not one of the biggest guys, so you can't do that. Biggest guys have authority, you don't have.
I was trapped in M&S, but as soon as I didn't like it, I left. What confuses me so much is the fact that you hate your job, but you still choose to.
This is better. I would add even more detail at the beginning. I was working at M&S, working how many hours, being paid this much an hour. I would start with, I make 50K a month at 20, but I was stuck working at M&S, boom. I make 50K a month at 20, but I was stuck working at M&S for how long?
3 months.
So I made 50K a month at 20, but I was stuck working at M&S for months being paid how much? £10 an hour.
I make 50K a month at 20, but I was stuck working in M&S for months, making £11.50 an hour, working on the freezer aisle, coming back home sick all the time. And I'm making this video because I genuinely want to explain how stupid I was to stay in a job I didn't want to work.
And now I personally, I don't know about you guys, but I'm more interested hearing this specific hook than I was with you just saying, this person, that person.
But we want to go for UK, so we'll do 35.
Yeah, do 35K pounds.
Yeah.
You say pounds, that's fine. All right, Daniel, how have you found that mini content audit breakdown?
Bro, amazing, because I feel like what you've opened my eyes to is the people that scale and get to that point where they're at like 50K followers, 100K followers. They get there through people knowing who they are. Because before then, no one knows them. So there is no reason to follow them, to get on their journey. The only way to do that is by them resonating with certain parts about yourself, right? Which would be your story, and also literally just your story, what you do, who you are as a person. Then once you do that, then you can start doing the more ambiguous videos, because now you can break the rules.
What would you say has been the most unexpected thing about working with me today?
The gallery thing was source. Going through your gallery to obviously obtain ideas, looking through your life to think of basically the checkpoints that have pivoted you to being in this position you're in right now. And I'd say finally, this idea of not copying the big dogs, because that's what I do. That's what I've become a bit hyperfixated doing. Looking at what the big guys are doing and just trying to copy them because it's obviously working for them, but it's only working for them because they are big, right? And if I want to get big, I can't just do what they're doing now. I need to go through the journey they went through, and then I can start doing it.
There are definitely things you can apply from the guys who are the biggest in the game, but the rules are not equal. TGR can post a video flailing his tongue around the screen and get 20 million views, but if you do that, you look like a moron, or worse, you look like a TGR clone, which is not good for your brand. That's bad for your brand. It's not a good look, okay?
Yeah.
So it's about building up yourself in a controlled way. You will eventually, if you go into like a mainstream online money influencer territory, you will have your own unique edge. Like for Brez, it's crashing his car. For TGR, it's just being an idiot. Like you'll find whatever that thing is for you, but you don't get to that stage by doing what.
So let's say someone started, because I'm big on this idea of like the version of yourself you're trying to become, you become them now.
Yeah.
In order to get there.
Yes.
Let's say someone wanted a TGR brand and they started acting like TGR now with 1K followers. Do you not think they'd be able to get to the point TGR's in now?
First of all, if you're copying the originator, you will never be bigger than the originator. That's the first thing.
Yes.
Right? Will they get to half the size, a quarter of the size? Yeah, they probably could, but they will never surpass it. They will always be in the shadow. That's your problem.
But you can grow.
How do you want to grow? And do you want to grow sustainably? Because if you jump and you just copy the fastest thing, yes, you will definitely get vanity views. You will get followers and views. Don't get me wrong, you will. But I'm helping entrepreneurs design personal brands that last decades, not a year. We don't want you to just do this, because that is very easy to do. I've done it myself, right? And I've seen plenty of people do it themselves. This is not how you last a long time. So we gotta be deliberate here at our strategy. So that may not always mean copying the biggest trends all the time. I'm not saying to not do that. Definitely take inspiration from what's working in the market, but trend hopping should not be your only strategy. You're just basically the market's bitch. You're not
Sick.
even your own person.
One more
You want to
question.
become a market definer. You can't do that if you're copying the market all the time.
The way you define your markets through your story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another question. So I've recently started working with someone, right? They've told me to go really polarizing with my hooks. And from working with you today, the hooks definitely sway people's head, but we're using our story to sway
Yeah,
their head.
yeah.
What do you think about just ambiguous polarizing hooks?
You can use polarizing hooks, but polarizing content, like I've done a lot with Samir, for example, we've done a lot of polarizing hooks and so much stuff like that. And it gets eyeballs, but it's like, one thing that's hard to measure is the quality of your attention, right? So if you're saying takes that you don't really believe with just for views, and you're not really comfortable making that sacrifice, then you shouldn't do that. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I think it's much better to be slow and steady, build a very good reputation over time. The virality will come naturally. Be polarizing when it makes sense, right? And be polarizing strategically, right? Let me show you a reel that I just made, one of my editors made. You do not need to lock in to become successful. That is polarizing. Who says that? Says you don't need to lock. Whoever says that, no one
No
ever
one.
says that. All right, exactly. It's polarizing, right? Because it's different. But when they hear the whole thing, they're like, actually, he's got a
make up
point.
for it.
Exactly. So listen. You do not need to lock in to become successful. I've met entrepreneurs who party every single Friday. They get blackout drunk. They do all the haram stuff, but they still make millions a month. And I also meet entrepreneurs who are on praying, keeping a halal, dialed in. They also make millions a month. Because the biggest factor I've seen to become successful is not what you do outside of the business. It's, are you doing the highest leverage tasks possible to move your business forward? No matter what you do outside of the business, it will still progress and you will still make tons of money. So you agree with that, right? But I use a polarizing hook there. But it wasn't so polarizing where I alienate my audience.
Yeah.
You know? So there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it. You just gotta do it in the right way.
Sick, bro.
Yeah.
Sick.
All right, I think we'll leave it
Learn
there,
too
bro.
much, bro.
Sick, man. We'll do another one hopefully in a few months. And that's
course,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
Nah, this shit was amazing.